Well, another week, another big load of catch-up reviews. Let's do it. Den of Thieves 2 Pantera was released in January 2025, directed by Christian Gudegast, starring Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. And I didn't review the first Den of Thieves because that movie came out pre my YouTube days. But I did like it. I thought it was a solid Heat copycat, but I enjoyed it. I thought that Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. and even 50 Cent were all really likable characters. It was a solid 7 out of 10 movie. So I was actually interested to see a sequel. It took years to get it off the ground. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but we finally got it. It's actually on Blu-ray now. I own both of these back here. So let's go ahead and talk about this movie, starting off with the good. And I'm going to be completely honest, this is even better than the original movie. And I love the original movie good enough. Gerard Butler returns as Big Nick, and he is just absolutely badass and hilarious even in some parts. I think Gerard Butler just absolutely nails this role. I love the depth that he brings to Big Nick as a character. And I'm going to talk about something in the third act a little later on, but he's dirty. He is down dirty for what he did in the third act. I'll talk about it here in a minute. But I really like Gerard Butler in this movie. O'Shea Jackson Jr. is also really good here. I loved Donnie as a character in the first movie, and this movie gives him even more to do as a character. I thought that he was really likable, even more so than the first one here, and I really love his chemistry with Gerard Butler. I thought that they both really played off each other really well. You buy into their friendship that develops throughout this movie. I really, really loved how they handled their dynamic as a cat and mouse type friend scenario. Yeah, I really like them together as friends. And then the rest of this crew that they fall in with, they're all pretty damn good characters. They're all really interesting, likable characters. So I liked the crew that we're following in this movie. Probably even more so than the crew we were following in the first movie. Because really, outside of O'Shea Jackson Jr. and 50 Cent's character in the first movie, I couldn't tell you a single who else was in the crew of the first movie, but I really love the crew here. The action sequences are absolutely thrilling, really great action in this movie. The story, it's pretty simple, run-of-the-mill bank robbery movie like the first one. But it was a little more complex than the first one. I still really love what they were able to do here. Really love how they were manipulating the whole situation. And when they finally pull off the heist, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I'm like, oh, how are they going to get out of this? How are they going to get out of this? Oh, they got out of that. How are they going to get out of this? Absolutely thrilling sequence in the third act. Absolutely love that. Finally, we get to the third act. Big Nick is so dirty for how he did this crew. He's helping them out the entire time. And then we get the reveal, surprise, he's actually working with the police force that we see for like 10 seconds at the beginning of the movie. He sets them all up. The entire crew goes to jail. I did not see that coming. No, I kind of did. But it was so dirty, but so on character for Big Nick. Just absolutely infuriating, but well pulled off. I will give them that. The score and the editing, pretty damn good here. The editing is nothing great, nothing Oscar-worthy by any means. But then again, neither was the editing in Bohemian Rhapsody, and look what happened. But yeah, I really love the score and the editing here. The score makes this movie even more badass than it already is. But yeah, that's about all for the good. On to the bad. And there's a couple things that I just wasn't a fan of here. First of all, the villains of this movie. I really didn't care for the villains. I couldn't have told you who the villains were. There was one plot line where you think one guy's going to be a villain, surprise he's not, but whatever. Then the final few minutes of this movie, it just keeps going. And I get that they got to set up for a third movie, and there is a third movie finally confirmed. But it just kept going, and I'm like, oh, come on, what are we doing? So, yeah, that's about all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. I really liked Den of Thieves 2. Like I said, I like it better than the first one, even just slightly better. I really like it. I'm excited for the third one. Den of Thieves 2 Pantera was a really good time at the movies. Obviously, I bought it on Blu-ray because I liked it, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have seen it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.